that you're mine. You're all that I want, all that I need, all that I hope for, all that I see, all that I want, all that I need, all that I hope for, all that I see. All that I want, all that I need, all that I hope for, all that I see, all that I want, all that I need, you're all that I hope for, all that I see. Such great love to find, this love of my life, and life feels sublime, and our love genuine. All my life anew, I find my match in you. So let's light up one time. I'm so glad that you're mine. You're all that I want, all that I need, all that I hope for, all that I see, all that I want, all that I need, all that I hope for, all that I see, all that I want, all that I hold me like
All right, everybody. It is 7:57. We're going to go ahead and get started off early. This is Earl Grey Tuesday, and tonight we're going to have this is a GOP primary watch party. We may do some light videos, but we're not doing any video request. So mainly this is just a standard Q&A followed by a good smoke. So I certainly hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Right now, the polls are going to close in about 5 minutes now. Right now I'm watching NBC News because that's the only thing I have a subscription for with my Amex Platinum. With Fox News, I have to have cable, and the great one doesn't have cable at all. So right now it is a pretty close race. Haley is at 18,000, Trump is at 2,000, but remember, the polls haven't closed yet, folks. There's about 4 minutes left until the polls closed. And then of course, anyone that's still in line, they're going to still be able to cast a vote. So it's going to be at least an hour or so. But definitely keeping a close eye on this, folks. But what we're doing tonight for this, while watching the GOP debates, feel free to ask any questions. Let me type that into the... Yeah, that is true, KCB. Now, I have it muted right now because of, YouTube's policies and stuff on streaming. Even though I'm actually watching through my NBC subscription. But, I don't want no motherfucking trouble or anything like that. Hey, that guy, what's up? But, I could just show you quickly as far as to what I'm watching, actually. So that's just a little sneak peek. So I'm going to call updates on it. Polls are going to close in about 2 minutes, folks. Now, this is make or break for Nikki. So, he's upset that, everyone's that I'm in on his little routine of producing shit content. Plus, he's also upset because I'm loading up more shorts, which I don't really get. It's my content. I'm free to upload whatever I wish. But, he's a goof. He's just trying to grab hold of anything he possibly can. But, yeah, this race has been pretty ugly. But while we're doing the GOP watch party, I had to get something special. So, I'm trying out this new cognac here. It is still French cognac, but it's a relatively brand new company. It's not my ABK6. I have the rest of it poured into decanter. This is just the remaining amount. And basically, this one actually has an almond taste to it with a a hint of orange peel, actually. It's pretty good. If you swallow a load. Oh, boy. Yes, he's still jocking the soul pole. That's all right. All right, the polls are going to close in about 30 seconds. So while we're going to wait for doing that, of course, you've seen the cognac I have. I also have fresh coffee, only 2 cups. Cutting down on coffee. It'll soon be just 1 cup a day, at least on caffeinated. Got water and, of course, a... Let's see if it'll sharpen up. These are what I've been smoking for a while. I'm not going to buy these ever again because they were on sale. I personally like my Perdomos much better. So let's go ahead and get lit up, folks. All right, and the polls are closed. There's only a 2,347 vote difference, so it's going to be pretty close. Get a little music in the background as well. Just a little light music, just a little bit, just a hint. Why is Vegan Gains such a weakling? He just he doesn't take time to rest. He builds a foundation, and once he gets hurt or injured, that foundation comes crumbling down. Yes, indeed. Be sure to thank Pugman. Well, Joe Biden's won New Hampshire. No surprise. He was actually a write-in on the ballot, actually. It was ridiculous. But yes, definitely thank Pugman. All right, Nikki Haley's closing the gap a little bit. But Trump leads just barely. So it looks like this race may continue on state through state. Yeah, it's only separated by about 2,000 votes. But as you can tell, folks, I'm having to watch NBC because I don't have cable, and the NBC comes through for my Amex card. With Amex, you get Paramount Plus and NBC. Well, KCB, he's automatically primaried. He just won New Hampshire with 80%. I mean, Dean Phillips only got like the next one up. He only got like 248 votes. I mean, he's the president, but we don't want them. So you have to understand, folks. Nikki Haley was governor of South Carolina, where I live, and she did some great things for this state. She cleaned this place the fuck up. I'm gonna just be honest with you. She cleaned this place the fuck up. It looks good thanks to her. Because before 2012, this place was a mess. It was a dump. That's not entirely true. I mean, I've worked in law enforcement there before for a short period of time. It's similar to veterans. All these candidates try to court law enforcement officers. They try to court veterans and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, none of the political parties that I've seen in the past 20-some years has actually really done anything for police officers. In fact, things are a lot worse. I'm definitely glad I'm not in law enforcement in this day and age. And Joe Pietaro agrees with me. He's getting married? Let me take a guess. Oh, yeah, I did see her. She looks nice here. I guess during the dates, he just closed up his mouth a little bit. I've never been arrested, Darren. I worked as a corrections officer. Well, he has the entire GOP base on his side. But Trump is leading, barely. Hey, J. Rob, thanks for subscribing there. Well, that's not my problem. It would be just a mess trying to kiss Tim Scott. Oh, he dropped out a long time ago. So, folks, in case you missed it, I'm trying out this new cognac. It's not bad. It's not as good as my ABK6, but it does cost a little bit less. But when it comes to cognac, price is no object. And then I got my coffee and Oliva. Like I said, I won't buy these cigars anymore. I won't buy these cognac because these are on sale. And like I said, I like my Perdomos better. Yes, I've had Steel Reserve before. Stuff isn't just nasty. I don't see how Jay can actually drink that. Well, they're misusing the badge, Athens. They should do hard time just for doing stuff like that. Because they're using their police powers in order to, take advantage of vulnerable inmates. That's not cool. I'm going to put the closed caption on. Fox has already called it? Hold on. How can they call it? Are you kidding me? He has a solid lead. They haven't called it yet. But I wouldn't call it solid. I mean, we're talking about less than 2,000 votes. Right now, Trump's leading at 52%. Haley is at 46.6%. So it looks like they're going to somewhat split the delegates. So Nikki Haley's probably going to still be in it. I can't because I can only show bits and pieces as far as to what I'm watching. Oh, God. Oh, snap. Yeah, looks like Trump just really pulled ahead. So let's see how many votes. Well, remember, the amount of delegates you get, KCB, is based upon how many votes you get. So Trump obviously is not going to get all the delegates, you know. So even though Trump can win, the delegates are still going to be split. I mean, Trump completely dominated in Iowa, but not so much here in New Hampshire. It's still close. They're going to end up splitting the delegates, but we're going to see in just a minute. Trump will probably get 12 delegates, and Nikki Haley's going to get 10. So she'll still be in it. You're obviously not from South Carolina. South Carolina was a pile of shit, but when Nikki took over, she got stuff taken care of. I mean, Trump's now pulling ahead, so but NBC hasn't called it yet. I'm still looking at Fox. I don't see where they've called it yet. I mean, he's going to win the primary, but by how much? You know? Like I said, it looks like the delegates are going to split. But in the meantime, just get your questions in while we watch. They may have called it KCB, but that's not what I'm looking for specifically. What I'm looking for is Trump is at 25,000 votes. Haley is at 22. So even with Trump winning, they're going to split the delegates. So we're talking about a 2 delegate difference. So I think Nikki's still going to be in it. If not, we're just going to have to MAGA, you know. But I'm rooting for Nikki, folks. All right, NBC just called it for Trump. That is indeed true. But I want y'all to take a look at this. See, there's only a 3,874 vote difference. I just want y'all to be aware of that. So this race is not over with yet. I think Nikki Haley's still in it. But on the other hand, she could drop out. Well, Tim, let me ask you a question. Do you work with a forge? If you work with a forge, that's definitely an alpha job. But given the fact that you're a knife maker, if you forge knives, then yeah, that's an alpha job. Because you can literally burn your fingers off and shit, you know. But let me know, Tim, if you use a forge or anything like that. Nikki Haley should be embarrassed if she is truly a phenom. Well, everyone counted her out there, you know. Everyone did. KCB, you got to go for the home team. It's like the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, what they go, 2-14? I still rooted for the Carolina Panthers. You got to back your own peoples no matter what there, KCB. So you got to respect that, you know. I'm a Carolinian. Nikki Haley is a Carolinian. We back each other no matter the odds, you know. I still back the Carolina Panthers 110%. And they really fucked up this year. You know. You got to stand by your peoples, you know. Real men stand by their peoples, you know. Even when the chips are down. I got you. Would I back Kalora running for office or something? Yeah. Okay, I can't say that's an alpha job there then. If you're working with a forge or so forth, or dangerous, you know, stuff like that, then yeah. But it's a pretty cool job. You just have to remember that one thing there, Tim. When I define alpha jobs, it doesn't mean that you have to spend your life doing it. I mean, my new job, I'm working I have a desk in an office with 2 monitors. It's definitely not an alpha job, you know. But assembling knives is still pretty cool, you know. Well, be a knife maker, Tim. Handcraft your own knives. You know, get a forge and everything like that. That's all you got to do. You're already assembling knives, so you're like 50% there. I did also get a job offer. I did get hired at TD Ameritrade, but I turned that down because I had already got the offer from the other ones. But they have similar pay rates. Hey, I would definitely endorse you, Tim. But you gotta call it the hoodrum knife with an H. Well, DeSantis got a little bit of the vote. She got 0.6. DeSantis got 0.6. That's probably why he dropped out because he knew this was going to happen. But once I finish my cigar in an hour, we're going to put on a couple videos. But we're still watching, so feel free to get the questions in and stuff. Because I'm really enjoying my cigar, and I'm enjoying my cognac. This feels like the good old days whenever I was doing the live streams, to where, you know, sitting doing Q&As and stuff while hitting my cigar. Well, Tim, he came back way too early from streaming. He has a respiratory illness, And he's already said he's still sick. But you know why he came back early? Money. He needs those donations in order to live. You know, and I don't want to be in that position, folks. Richard does not have multiple sources of income. All of his money, for the most part, comes from his memberships and his donations. All right, folks, I need to make this one thing clear. I am not voting for Biden. I have never voted for Joe Biden. I will never vote for Joe Biden. And I will definitely never vote for Kamala Harris, okay? No Democrats. I'm an LC Republican, folks. LC, Log Cabin Republican. Why would a Republican vote for a Democrat like Biden? So, folks, no vote for Biden. Okay? Not all homosexuals vote Democrat, okay? I want you guys to understand that. Tim, if Nikki loses, you know who I'm going to go with. Like I already said that before. If Nikki loses, we're going to have to MAGA. You know? It's like 2008. If McCain hadn't brought that crazy woman up there, that's fine. Mitt Romney would have been a great president. But no, I'm not going to vote for Sarah Palin. And it's a good thing that it's, unfortunately, if John McCain picked someone else, you know, or so forth, it would have been a better, you know, it would have been much different. Besides, I didn't vote for Obama the second time. Hey, what's up, Lamar? What's up? Well, Lamar, for now, he's gotten out. I went on his channel. He's removed a lot of those pharmaceutical links. So whenever he did the appeal process, he probably said he would take it down, you know. And that's why they restored his account. Romney would have made a good president there, Donald. He really would have. I mean, he's business oriented, you know. And I'm a business oriented person. We need to get out of this stuff. I mean, you got some of these politicians talking about, you know, transgender bathrooms and shit like that. I don't, you know, these things, the only thing that's important to me in government is how you take care of my money, my finances, okay? I can care less about social issues, you know what I mean? Social issues is something you do on your personal time, you know? If you're making it, if what I want is government that makes it easier for small businesses like mine to function, you know? And when Nikki Haley got elected, I was able to advance my business, you know? Nikki Haley made small businesses like mine, put laws in effect to where I was able to grow my business. Tim, you need a dishwasher. Well, Lamar, my channel was banned one time as well. They give second and third chances if you can always appeal it. I mean, Vegan Gaines' channel was banned. He got 3 community strikes and he signed up with a content management system. But other people like Perrin Fitness, like Nick Trigilli, they're permanently banned. There's nothing they could say in order to get back. So Mark Bell, I mean, he just took down his links or so forth. But that's just me, and I mean, a lot of other LGBT people are upset at me and stuff about it, but I don't really, you know, why does government have to get into people's social issues? They need to stay out of the social issues, take care of the people's money, you know? Take care of finances. We need to stop depending on oil from these other countries. We've got plenty of oil here, folks. We got plenty of oil here. That's what it's all about, business, At the end of the day, because with social issues, you're not going to make anyone happy. Finances, I'm going to tell you right now, people complain a lot less when they got money in their pocket. I'm just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. Well, Lamar, it just really depends on how far it went. I think part of it had to deal with Mark Bell's outside links, per se. So it just all depends. But I mean, me voting for Biden, tell me, what has Biden done for the black community, folks? Are we better off 4 years ago? I mean, I tried to ask someone that there. He's like, you should vote for Biden there. He's for the black people. Okay. If he's for the black people, what has he done for black folks? And they always wave that reparation shit under the, like they dangle that carrot. Democrats love to dangle the reparations credits here. You know what I mean? And year after year, you get disappointed. That's what I asked someone. No one so far has been able to answer the question, what has Joe Biden done for black people? Exactly, Lamar. And that's why I don't want my government getting involved in social issues. Fuck that. Like I said before, people are a lot more happier when they got money in their pocket, When you got money in your pocket, everything's great. Do you see Jay-Z arguing so much about politics? No. You know why? Because he's a billionaire, And that's the thing, Lamar. They always dangle this reparations thing under us, Either pay the money or don't fucking pay it, You know what I'm saying? But don't bullshit with me. Trump never did that stuff. Mitt Romney never did. John McCain never did. That guy, Kamala Harris, will never become president. Dan Quayle has a better chance of becoming a president than Kamala Harris. Everybody wants to get involved in social issues, Social issues are good, but those are things you do on your personal time. You know what I mean? Government needs to stay out of people's houses. It's like, and not only that, you have to adapt and overcome. You see, whenever I was married, gay marriage was still illegal. However, what I did instead is, as far as to make sure my money was taken care of, which is back in my name, I signed living wills and living trust. You know what I mean? There, problem solved. So if I went and kicked the bucket, it would have went to my husband. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you're not going to always get the rulings that you are. You just got to work with what you got, So that's what I did when I got married. It was a civil union, folks. No tax breaks or anything like that. And what I did is I contacted Merritt Webb, had them create a living trust for me. So if something happened to me, it would have went to my husband, So the laws were in place. I couldn't change them. So what I do, I worked around it. No problem, Because in my opinion, I don't need the fucking government to dictate whether I'm married or not, you know. Whether we're sharing household expenses or anything, I can do that myself, and I can I filled out the living trust, so I'm cool with that, you know. Alex Jones wants Blaha to take him. Wilding out today, Tim. All right, Nikki Haley is still speaking. Let's see what she got to say.
So our fight is not over because we have a country to save.
So Nikki Haley is going to fight on.
Millions of voters in over 20 states.
Nikki Haley's staying in the race. And this is what I expected. Even though Trump is winning, he's only ahead by like 6,000 votes. So they're going to Trump is going to get probably 13 or 14 delegates. Nikki Haley is not far off there, folks. They're going to be 4 delegates off, so Nikki Haley is still in the race, folks. She just announced over that she's staying in the race. This is what I was talking about, folks. So it ain't over with. Nikki Haley's still in the fight. Alex, that's never going to happen again. No more Huxtables. Lamar, you're not going to have a perfect candidate. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of bloopers that Nikki has said, you know. You're not going to get an absolutely perfect candidate. But Nikki Haley is light years ahead of Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? And trust me when I say this, Lamar, Nikki did a lot of great things in South Carolina. She got laws passed that to where I was able to grow my business and expand it. South Carolina is a lot better because of Nikki. RX Muscle had a good show today. What was it about? Yeah, Trump has now got a little over a 5,000 vote lead. But in some of those counties, Nikki Haley's going to pull close to it. So a lot of these counties are primarily Trump or pro-Trump. So it's going to level out a little bit. Oh, there go Trump there. Trump, Nikki's... Trump going off on Truth Social. Nah, I don't want to run for office. I want to be like the I want to be like the Koch brothers. I'll tell you right now, being a public servant isn't where the power is. The true power is in money, you know? The billionaires, the 1%, the wealthy 1% control this country, folks. Not politicians. So, if I had a choice, I would be a billionaire. I'd be part of the 1%. They make all the decisions for the country. Yes, the purple flame somewhat is in full effect, although I got a better camera now. You know, I still got the old camera put away somewhere to where I can do the purple flame, but it was such a cheap camera. Wes Watson can't run for president. He's a felon. He can't run for president. If you're a felon, you can't run for president. Well, you'll never see him on a debate stage. He can't run for president. He can't be a senator. He can't be a representative or anything. He's a felon. He doesn't even have the right to vote. Remember, felons can't vote. Wes Watson can't do anything. He can't do shit. Yeah, Trump's really pulling ahead. He's at 7,000 now ahead. Almost about to hit 55%. Yes, it does. Let me look this up. Hold on. Well, he can't run for state. Well, I guess he can run for president, but he can't run for a lot of state and local offices. Because in all states except for Vermont and Maine, citizens that are convicted of a felony are barred from voting for a period of time. But no political party is going to take a felon on. He would literally have no support. It's just the language, Lamar. There's a lot of good English rappers. I mean, it's really not about the sound, really. It's about the message. That's what rap music, that's what hip hop is all about, Lamar. It's about the message. It's not so much about how a person sounds. Besides, they can use auto tune. So, folks, if Trump becomes the nominee, who do you think he's going to pick for VP? I think Wes would do okay on a debate stage. I mean, he's been on stage a bunch of times. He would probably study up on it. But I think he would do pretty well. All right, folks, I'll be right back in just a second. I got to use the restroom, so in the meantime, I'll leave you with this picture of Tim Scott. Y'all can look at that for a bit. All right, we're back, folks. Sorry to scare you with that picture. Lamar, we don't need to be picking VPs by race or anything. See, Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris because she was a Negro, just in order to size up that black vote. That's the reason why Joe Biden picked her. And I mean, you got to think about it. Kamala Harris called Joe Biden a freaking racist, you know, literally. But guess who? But for someone to call, if Kamala really thought that Joe Biden was racist, which he did pass those busing limits and stuff like that. You know, she said all this stuff, and then all of a sudden she chums up and becomes a VP. We don't need stuff like that. The vice president should have the abilities to become president and to manage the job. That's the job of a vice president. Kamala Harris has no business being a vice president whatsoever. Yeah, that's one ugly picture, isn't it? Here, let me give y'all a nice little close-up of it. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Look at them teeth, baby. So, folks, do you think that Tim Scott should be the next VP for Donald Trump? God, that's one ugly motherfucker. Look at that. I mean, just look at the gums on this motherfucker. Woo! Yes, I have a new job. I'm studying up on some healthcare stuff and medical terminology. And then I start training on February 12th. My training's going to last about 3 months because remember, this is a healthcare based job. So I got to freshen up on my medical terminology since I've not. The last time I did any work in the medical field or so forth, I did work for the Greenville hospital system back in the late 90s for about a year processing medical forms. So I got to catch up on that. Yes, folks, the Great One has a lot of abilities. Jack of all trades, master at none. Yeah, Tim Scott could be. Tim Scott could end up as a VP. Now, I did vote for Tim Scott, folks. Just to let you know. I did vote for this person. I'm just going to be honest with you. I did vote for him. But goddamn, he needs to close. He needs to tuck in that lip of his just a little bit. Like, he should take his pictures like this. No telling why he's so bitter. I don't know why McCluck's so bitter for. Could be job related, just relationship related. Who knows? No, I didn't vote for Hillary. But I gotta be careful saying that. I might end up dead in a car or something. I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna be. Now, it's possible. It's possible that this person, Tusi, can become VP as well. What do you guys think of that? Vote for Hillary. Yeah, sure. Hey, Tim, what's up? Let's check back in on the race. Yeah, Trump's really pulling away now. Yeah, that's beginning to look kind of ugly. Well, this was like 6 years ago, that guy. I mean, things change, you know? You have to remember, politicians will change. Nikki Haley originally said that she had a constitutional duty to keep the Confederate flag hanging. But once that Dylan Roof guy went and killed all those people, she changed. So things do change there, you know? My cousin just needs to get a little bit better. Masters Militia. I don't even know what he said. Looks like he retracted whatever he said. So, folks, in the comments below, who do you think's going to be vice president? Who do you think Trump's going to pick, or Nikki Haley? Who do you think they're going to pick for VPs? I mean, I already know DeSantis is not going to be a VP. That's just not going to happen. You know what killed DeSantis? You know, fucking around with Disney and fucking around with schools. I get what he was trying to do, but he went way too far. I'm not going to do as many reaction videos as I used to. I may do just reaction videos on Saturday. Extend out Soul Poll Saturday for 2 hours instead of 1. The midnight run is going to drop to either 3 or 2 hours. It'll probably drop to 3 hours. Because I'll be working at least until 8 o'clock, so there's no way I can do the midnight run at 8 o'clock anymore. I'm still going to do react videos, just mainly on a different day. Lamar, I'm getting back to the basics as far as to my live streams are concerned, which is general discussion, light videos. You know, make my shows back the way it was as far as Q&As are concerned. I'll do reactions on the midnight run. That's always going to be the case. It'll just be like 3 hours instead of 4. It's not a bank job that I got. It's in the healthcare industry. I did get the job at TD Ameritrade as a financial advisor, but I turned it down because I had already got this particular job. The pay was about the same anyway. But yeah, I did get the job offer at TD Ameritrade. I mean, if something goes wrong with this job, then I'll go to TD Ameritrade. That's true, Lamar. Tim Scott is a yes man. He's what I call a house nigga, you know. No, I'm not working at a hospital. It's more or less like a it's a medical administration job, that guy. My salary? I'm not going to discuss my salary. At least not yet. Spectrum? Spectrum offered me $23 an hour plus commission. And I did get accepted. I already got accepted at that job, and I didn't even turn in a resume. It's just I have a bunch of friends that work over at Spectrum. But that job would have ended up like Verizon, and I'm trying to get something more stable to where it won't be outsourced overseas. But Spectrum off was going to give me $23 an hour plus commission. I mean, I'm taking somewhat of a pay cut, Lamar, as opposed to Spectrum. But the purpose of it is the hours are more flexible to where I can continue not only doing my live streams, but also doing my business as well. If I worked at Spectrum, it would have been very hard to do live streams. I would have only been able to do live streams 2 days a week. No, I got a job offer from Spectrum. I got a job offer from TD Ameritrade after interviewing. I mean, I got a bunch of job offers. I only got rejected by Resurgent and Data Recovery Systems, the DRS. Those are the only 2 job rejections I got. But that's to be expected because I have no experience in debt collection. So I had little chance of landing those jobs, but I still went and interviewed for those anyway. In all, I did about 7 or 8 interviews. Nah, I'm definitely not going to work for McCook. I mean, all he does is hook up printers and shit. He probably doesn't get paid much to do stuff like that. I have a printer at home, Darren. I still use printers. I have a Canon inkjet printer. Still got to print out papers. Yeah, Trump's now ahead by 10,000 votes. Till 10 o'clock, that guy. Show runs until 10. Hey, Team Blaha, what's up, man? We're just chilling, smoking, doing a Q&A, watching the GOP primary. Quick pump with a $1.49 donation. Definitely appreciate it. Which reminds me, if you folks want to put in a donation, you can, but just be sure to smash that like button. Yeah, a little music in the background isn't too bad. Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty cheap to run my inkjet. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yep, I appreciate the cash there, that guy. Got Jack and Coke today? Okay. You got to get off those Pall Malls. Those things are horrible. They're almost as bad as those Newport menthols. Yeah, Camel cigarettes. Camels killed a whole lot of people simply because, you know, Camels had those prizes back then where you smoke a couple different packs and you get a jacket. A lot of people died in order to get that Camel jacket. You don't see people wearing Camel jackets anymore because most of them are dead from lung cancer or emphysema. What kind of tobacco, team? Yeah, Trump's really pulling ahead now, so. I heard J Masters are. You have to be more specific. I don't know what you're talking about, Darren. Oh, 8? No. That didn't happen. Oh, Kent. Do they still make Kent cigarettes? Thoughts on Instagram models? A lot of those are AI generated, Lamar. AI technology has come a long way. I mean, some of those pictures look so real you can't really tell. And then, of course, people use Photoshop for their pictures. Well, those are factory smoke. Oh, number 49s? Okay. I never liked those cigars. I had a pack of those. That's when I started early. But they didn't have the oomph with them. Oh, the real ones? Most of that stuff's Photoshop, Lamar. Either that, fake tits, fake ass, and stuff. You have to remember, with most of these model pictures, they enhance them and stuff. Fuzz out pictures, get rid of blemishes and stuff. Alright, cigar's finished, so remember, folks, you gotta twist it, not jab it. There we go. Just had to put my hat on just to put away the cigar desk. Oh, I got a connection to get Cuban cigars. Well, Trump was expected to win anyway. I mean, Nikki's going to probably get killed in South Carolina. But I like the fact that she's putting up the fight and stuff. See, this is where it's at now. But Nikki's still gonna pick up a lot of delegates. It'll be a 4 or 5 delegate difference. So Nikki's definitely still in it. Well, the key to being sick is rest and water, Lamar. Rest and water is what you need if you're sick. You need rest and fluids, not seminal fluids, but actual H2O fluids. Well, it's at 30% now. I mean, Nikki's going to pick up more votes as it gets in those other areas, but so is Trump, so. Trump's going to get more delegates, but not by much. Because you see, you got to remember, a lot of stuff's not being reported. Most of the Trump counties are in, but not the ones that are probably going to go towards Nikki Haley. But in places that are Trump heavy, like according to this, Seabrook, he's got 71%. But in other places, there are counties that Nikki Haley actually won in. Like I said, she was a great governor, that guy. She was a really good governor in South Carolina. Well, the earth can be nuked at any time. Just be sure to wear a lot of sunblock. But I wouldn't want to live through nuclear fallout. If that ever happens, I'll just stand outside with a good old cigar, have a little cognac, and just wait for the world to end. And burn up like a motherfucker. Youth's on your side? Yes, indeed it is. That's always a good thing. Do I miss the 80s? I do a little bit. I miss going into the malls and stuff, and going into the arcade. I mean, I like the times now. There's a lot of things I can do now that I couldn't do in the 80s and 90s. I mean, my primal years was in the early 90s, late 90s. Oh, then you need to go to urgent care, that Lamar. If your dog's sick, you just need to hit urgent care and see what's going on with that. Urgent care really doesn't cost that much. Just don't go to an emergency room. They'll charge the hell out of you. Just checking my websites, folks. All that I need. Oh yeah, you was in the military, so yeah, you good on that. Just hit up the VA. Well, that's because they were using animal fat still, quick pump. That's why. When you're using animal fats, it makes things, especially McDonald's fries and other food. It's because it was cooked in animal fat, or a mix of animal and vegetable fat. Of vegetable oils. That's why a lot of restaurants serve duck fries or duck fat fries. They fry them in duck fat. I mean, duck fat fries are really good, but I don't eat those because they're, I gotta watch my cholesterol these days. I try to stay away from a lot of fat food there. Fast foods, Lamar. I eat those very rarely. That, and I'm trying to cut down on the safety fat too, so. I mean, I'm not getting on the scale, but my belly's going down a whole bunch. And I'm able to fit in some suits. I gotta tighten up the belt as well, so. But I'm not really stepping on any scales lately. I'm gonna lose part of the reason being is because part of the reason why I'm losing weight is because I'm taking steroids now. Now that I'm on TRT, my testosterone's much higher. And when you have high testosterone, it burns fat, I'm able to train a lot harder now. See what we got now. Yeah, Haley's pulling up a little bit, vote-wise, but, you know, Trump's still pulling up as well. Of course, weed smokers always love Taco Bell. And they go to Taco Bell because you can get all sorts of varieties of food. I got you, Lamar, for winning that boxing match. You my dog, man. But yeah, I got you on that, man. I got you on that. Oh boy. Oh, looks like I got another job offer for LabCorp, actually. See, like I said, I applied for a lot of jobs and interviewed for a bunch of jobs, so all of those are coming in. So I'll have to write I have to write about 4 or 5 turn down letters. I'm still rooting for my dog Lamar. Yeah, Trump's about to get on stage to speak in just a minute. So in just a minute, I'm gonna unmute it and we're gonna hear Trump speak.
The collection of American flags there, and then
I'm gonna wait until it. All right, folks. Trump is about to speak in just a minute. And I'm gonna turn up the volume, and that way we can all listen together. Yeah, look at Trump. So we're just waiting for Trump to speak. So in the meantime, get your questions in, folks. If you wish to make a donation, you can. Well, Gabe, I already knew Trump was going to win. I was just hoping that Nikki didn't end up with like 20 or 10% of the votes. I think Nikki did pretty well. She's at 43% of the votes. And that's good, folks. That's really good. You got to remember that Trump has all the South Carolina. He has Tim Scott. He has the senators. He has the governor and everybody else supporting him instead of Nikki. So that looks pretty bad. Well, KCB, that's all I can do. So I can't use Fox because I don't have access to it.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now. Three. We win it every time. We win the primary. We win the generals. We've won it, and it's a very, very special place to me. It's very important. If you remember, in 2016, we came here and we needed that win, and we won by 21 points, and it was great. And today, I have to tell you, it was very interesting because I said, wow, what a great victory. But then somebody ran up
There's
to the
Tim
stage
Scott
all
speaking
dressed
behind
up
him.
nicely when it was at 7. But now I just walked up and it's at 14. But she ran up when it was 7. And, you know, we have to do what's good for our party. And she was up and I said, wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. And you know, last week we had a little bit of a problem, and if you remember, Ron was very upset because she ran up and she pretended she won Iowa. And I looked around, I said, didn't she come in 3rd? Yeah, she came in 3rd. And then I looked at the polls. She was talking about most winnability, who's going to win, and I had one put up. I don't know if you see it, but I have one put up. We've won almost every single poll in the last 3 months against crooked Joe Biden. Almost every poll. And she doesn't win those polls. And she doesn't win those. This is not your typical victory speech, but let's not have somebody take a victory when she had a very bad night. She had a very bad night. And you have the now very unpopular governor of this state. This guy, he's got to be on something. I've never seen anybody with energy. He's like hopscotch. And, you know, I'm watching this guy, and 2 weeks ago I said, we're going to win in the landslide. We're going to win. About 3 days ago I started saying, well, we want to do well. That's a big difference. But I walked out just now, we're 14 points up, and I don't know what it's going to be. But when she was up here, it was like 6 or 7.
I still think
with
Nikki
like
Haley did pretty
7%
good
of
considering the
vote counted.
circumstances.
Now, let me just
But it's
tell
not
you,
over with, folks.
We had an unbelievable week last week in Iowa. We set a record. It was the best in the history of the caucus, in the history. And I remember I sort of had the same feeling. I'm up and I'm watching, and I said, she's taking a victory lap. And we beat her so badly. But Ron beat her also. You know, Ron came in second and he left. She came in third and she's still hanging around. The other thing, she only got 25% of the Republican votes. I don't know if you saw that. Tremendous numbers of independents came out because in this state, because you have a governor that doesn't frankly know what the hell he's doing in this state, in the Republican primary, they accept Democrats to vote. In fact, I think they had 4,000 Democrats before October 6th. They already voted.
I doubt many Democrats actually voted. I definitely know that independents did.
2016, and if you really remember it, if you want to play it straight, we also won in 2020 by more. And we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. But as they said, we lost by a whisker, just by a whisker. No, but we can't let that happen. You know, you have to have people that speak up. I said, I can go
Look at
up
Tim
and I
Scott
can
in the
say to
background.
everybody, oh, thank you for the victory. It's wonderful. Or I can go up and say,
They
who the
especially
hell
put him
is
in the background of
imposter
things.
that went up on the stage before and like claimed a victory.
Look at those
She did very
teeth.
poorly, actually. She had to win. The governor said she's going to win. She's going to win. She's going to win. Then she failed badly. Now I have here, if he promises to do it in a minute or less, but the only person more angry than, let's say me, but I don't
Oh,
get too
God.
angry, I get even. The only person.
I swear Tim Scott needs to quit
The only-
smiling.
Because he was there, and he did fantastically well, by the way, and then he endorsed me. And we don't have to talk about Tim Scott, who, by the way, just got engaged, we have to tell you. And that's more important than all of this stuff. But a man that got to know her very well is Vivek. I said, Vivek. Go up and say a few words about it. He has to do it in 1 minute or less, and then we're going to just say, we had one hell of a night tonight. And one other thing, before Vivek comes, do you see that poll? We're going to put it up. We have beaten Biden. You could almost say, who can't? Who the hell can't? The man can't put two sentences together. He can't find the stairs off a stage. Who can't? But Vivek, 1 minute or less. Go do it, Vivek.
What we saw tonight is America first defeating America last. That's what we saw tonight.
I don't like Vivek too
If
much.
you want America last, you can go to Joe Biden. You got another candidate still apparently in the Republican primary. Cut your Social Security to fork over more money to Ukraine so some kleptocrat can buy a bigger house. Go to Nikki Haley. But you know who delivered a double-digit victory tonight? It is a double-digit victory as of right now. Is this man, Donald J. Trump, the leader of America First? And that means something. Now, USA and Donald Trump, America First. Now, I got 30 seconds left. I want to make this point here, okay? We got to say this. We got to say this right. What we see right now with her continuing in this race is the ugly underbelly of American politics, where the mega donors are trying to do one thing when we the people say another. And it's up to us, we the people, to at long last say, hell no. We the people create a government that is accountable to us. And we the people have said tonight, we want, again, as we did in Iowa, Donald J. Trump. And so you want to actually speak truth. That's the truth.
Hey, what was the
tonight.
name that
thing that
Donald
we
Trump was calling him? Vivek.
Donald Trump's victory speech there in New Hampshire. Things took a little bit of a weird turn.
But yes, it is indeed a double-digit victory. But again, Nikki Haley's still at 43%. So she's going to get a good number of delegates. So again, folks, the race isn't over. Anything can happen, folks. Just remember, anything can happen in an election. Because remember, folks, people thought Hillary was going to win until Jim Comey went and pulled out those emails again like 2 weeks before the election and stuff. It ain't over yet, KCB. Like I said before, I still rooted for the Panthers even when they were 1-10. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to elections and voting, KCB, if you really believe in a candidate, you got to go all the way. You know what I'm saying? Until it ends. Like I said, I was still rooting for the Panthers until their very last game. Till the very last game. I knew they weren't getting into playoffs. But I still rooted for the Panthers. You know why? That's my hometown. That's my peoples there, you know? I'm a Tar Heel. I'm a North Carolinian. So, yeah, I'm going to support Carolina all the way. And that's the same with Nikki Haley. She's a Carolinian. She did a lot of good things for South Carolina, you know? Where do I live, folks? South Carolina. So you got to back your peoples, you know? That's what it's all about, folks. But I hope you guys understand why I'm rooting for Nikki Haley, because she did a lot of great things for South Carolina. She helped my business grow, so why wouldn't I, you know? That's because a lot of black people don't want to work, KCB. There's plenty of jobs out there, you know what I mean? They may not pay much, but they are jobs. You get what you get in life. When I got laid off from Alltel, KCB, from my $50,000 a year job, that I fucking complained about it? No, I went to work at Walmart. They paid me $7.95 an hour to unload trucks, okay? Most people didn't take that job, but I took it. Real men stay up, you know? Think about it. I went from a high-powered office job all the way to unloading trucks at Walmart for $7.95. Because I got respect for myself, you know what I mean? And a couple of people looked down at me because I went from that point to working at Walmart. But I wasn't going around collecting welfare. I wasn't collecting food stamps, you know. I did what I had to do. So there's jobs out there. You know what I mean? There is no high black unemployment rate. It's just people that just don't want to work. White people too. Get 2 jobs. That's right, Lamar. You got to get 2 jobs if you need to. 2 shit jobs will equal a regular job, you know. But I did what I had to do. I've never collected food stamps. I never collected welfare. I've never collected, you know, when I left Verizon, I didn't collect unemployment benefits, folks. I got out there and I went out and did the damn thing. You know what I mean? I did the damn thing. There's jobs out there. You got to take what's available out there until something better comes along. But people have this attitude these days to where, Lamar, people have this attitude these days to where I'm too good to work this certain job. I'm too good to work at McDonald's. I'm too good to work at Taco Bell. Bitch, I worked at Taco Bell for 4 years. It's an honest job. It's a paying job, you know? So there's no real unemployment rate. It's just people that think that they're too good to take up a job. You know what I mean? If I didn't have the ability, if I was coming out of prison, for example, and the only job that was available for me was digging ditches, I'm gonna dig ditches. It's honest work, you know, till something better comes along. And millennials and Gen X's, they want to get $1,000 phones and stuff. I got rid of my fancy. I had a flip phone up until 2016. Anyone can get a job, folks. Anyone. I got a friend of mine. He's disabled. He can collect disability. He's in a wheelchair, got literally no arms and stuff. But he works. He doesn't collect disability, you know. Like I said before, anyone can go get a job. Jobs are out there. It's just that people think they're too good for a job. They rather collect unemployment. They rather wait for Joe Biden to go and give them some money. Take a look at student loans, for example. All those deferences and stuff. And now that they've gotten rid of the deference, people are still not paying. So they're racking up interest. All because they went and got degrees in like liberal arts or something. Liberal arts is a minor. It's not a major, folks. You don't need a job to entice you, KCB. You just need to get a damn job. Hey Dixon, I don't care. I'm still behind Nikki Haley. Much like everybody else is behind Trump, no matter he's got all these charges against him and stuff like that, people still voting for Trump. I'm sticking with my bitch, Nikki Haley. All right? When she drops out, I'm dropping out, but I'm still hanging with her. You know what I mean? You got to stick with your team, folks. You got to stick with your beliefs. You know what I mean? Think about the Civil War, folks. Now, you know, folks, I was a Union person. You know, my family was in slavery and everything. Confederates were losing the war and stuff. Confederates still kept fighting. Look at Vietnam. The Viet Cong was losing the war. Did they give up? No, they kept fighting till the very end. Remember, folks, you got to fight till the very end, you know. Even when the chips are down, you got to fight. It's no different than a job. You do what you got to do, and that's it. And if you still lose, at least you went out on your sword. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out on my sword if Nikki Haley loses. I'm in it to the end, to the bitter end. I'm rolling with Nikki Haley until she drops out. She's not dropping out, so I'm sticking in. All right. That's what it's all about, folks. You got to back your play. You got to back your play. I'm backing Nikki Haley's play. No, Joe Biden won New Hampshire with 80%. And that was a write-in. But it's the same with life, folks. You're not going to always win at life, you know? You got to take you can't win unless you lose a couple of games. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I believe in Nikki Haley, you know. Now she lost tonight. She lost the previous night. But she ain't giving up, so I'm not going to give up on her. You know what I mean? When it comes to elections, folks, you don't just automatically go with the winning team because they're winning. You go with who you believe in. I believe in Nikki Haley, so I'm sticking with her. I don't know what's going on with Featherman. I think they just propped him up on a stick so they can keep the vote away from Dr. Oz. But folks, there's no unemployment problem here in America. Anyone can get a job. It's just, it may not be the job you want to get, but you do what you got to do. Like I said, I unloaded trucks at Walmart for $7.95. I worked at Family Dollar for minimum wage $7.25. I did what I needed to do. And people can look down at me about that for all they want. They can make fun of me working at Family Dollar for $7.25. They can make fun of me for working at Walmart for $7.95 after I was making $50,000 a year. But I didn't collect welfare. I didn't collect food stamps. I handle things like a man should, you know. Like I said, real men stay up, you know. They don't get down on their knees and beg for mercy or anything. They stay up. They do what they need to do. Well, it wasn't my state, KCB, so it, you know, whoever got elected in that particular case didn't really affect me. Dr. Oz was a carpetbagger. That's why he lost. He just came in from the state. Otherwise, if they wanted, Featherman would have easily lost if they got someone local in that state, but they didn't. I don't know what the GOP was actually thinking in bringing in a carpetbagger. Anyone that's a carpetbagger, they're not going to have any chance of winning. It's just not going to happen. All right, folks, we got 15 minutes left. Get your questions in. If you wish to put a donation in, you can. But we're shutting the doors at 10 o'clock p.m. Unemployment. But yeah, that's what I had to do, folks. When you're not depending on people, you know, that builds constitution. That builds, you know, that keeps your manhood points. You know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying? It keeps your manhood points. When you're one of these liberals that want to wait until Joe Biden and stuff and complain about it, I didn't like what I was getting paid. But that's the way it was at that point in time. And I stuck with it, you know, until something better came along. It took years, but, you know. You got to think about it. I was laid off from Alltel in 2007. And I didn't get the job at Verizon until 2016. So for 9 years, I worked low-paying jobs. I worked at Walmart, I worked at Family Dollar, and I worked at Lowe's for 6 years. You know what I mean? I started at Lowe's at $8.95 an hour. 6 years later, I'm making $11.15. It's not much money, but, you know, it's still money. It's money that I made, and I just budgeted it, you know. You can live off $11.15 an hour. It's just that you can't get those fancy phones or anything like that. I had a flip phone. You know, you have to be careful on your groceries. I didn't spend much on groceries, you know. I didn't go out to eat or anything. I couldn't do much of anything. But I just hung in there. And that's all you can do, folks. The one thing you should never do is get down on your knees and try to take the easy way out by collecting unemployment, getting welfare, cheating food stamps or anything like that. People these days are just lazy. They're not willing to take up they're not willing to take up two jobs. If one job doesn't pay you enough, get two jobs. You know, but I also encourage people to have multiple sources of income. This is why, you know, even working that job, I had my side hustle. I had my businesses. And that kept the bills paid. And then I took a couple of side jobs as well. But as long as Nikki Haley's sticking in, I'm sticking with her. It's like the Panthers. Panthers was losing all the games, but I stuck with them. That's the way life is, folks. Sometimes you're going to be on the losing side. You're going to be on the losing team. You're going to be on the losing end of things. But don't vote for someone because you think they're going to win. Vote your convictions. Vote for who you believe is going to be the best person. You know what I mean? And once you do that, stick with your vote. Don't go and turn your back on someone just because they're losing. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Haley lost this part. She lost the previous one, but she's still in it. As long as she's in it, I'm in it, you know? Confederates didn't give up. Viet Cong didn't give up. America didn't give up, you know? You don't give up, folks. And definitely I wasn't rooting for no Confederates, you know what I mean? My family were slaves. I'm glad the Confederates lost, but they stuck with it, you know? Stop getting to the point, folks, to where you just gotta, you know, because Democrats do that as well. Black folks have a tendency to vote for Biden because not because they think it. I mean, look at Biden. He's up there stumbling around, drool coming out of his mouth. He's like 80 years old. But they think he's going to do something for black folks when none of them have done anything for black folks. None of them have done anything for the black community. No one has ever been able to tell me what Biden or any of these other people have done for the black community, except fuck things up. Well, that's fine, Lamar. Like I said, for now, I'm sticking with Nikki Haley because that's who I believe is going to be the best candidate. There's little chance of her winning, but I'm still sticking with her. I mean, it's just, and if you think about it, think about Trump. Trump's got all these convictions and stuff like that. He's got charges against him and stuff. But what's that sign they say? I don't care. I'm still voting for Trump. That's the one thing I hate most. I hate it when people don't vote their convictions. That they just decide to vote for whoever's going to win. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? You vote for whoever you think is going to be the best candidate, regardless as to how the chips are falling. You know what I mean? Nah, that's her natural color. I mean, she is Indian after all, you know. I wish you well. I gotta get some more of this music. This is really good stuff. I mean, if I'm having back issues, Quick Pump, I'll pay for a massage. Usually they run about $60. Last time I had one was about 5 months ago. Hey Lamar, speaking of which, are you gonna be streaming tonight? And remember, folks, this show is brought to you by Cognac. Hey, Lamar, do your thing, man. And keep up with doing those reaction videos. Those are pretty good. Xbox won't let you stream on... Oh, that sucks. You would think that Xbox would get more advertising with it, but that's the way it is sometimes, Lamar. I mean, like I said, remember I put in that Larry Wheels video and it got crashed for policy violations and stuff? All right, folks, we got 5 minutes left. Get your questions in. Final questions. If you wish to make a donation, you can, but be sure to smash that like button. I may do a sunrise live stream quick pump, but not a sunset. Joey Swole's in the hospital? I didn't know that. Well, I wish all the best for him. Now you cut that out, Year of the Cat. Oh, I don't want to talk too much about the jab. I mean, I took the vax, both shots, and I took a booster. I've not taken anything since. And that's a decision that I made based on the fact that a lot of my relatives have passed away because of the COVID. I had a lot of people die in my family from it, which told me that I was going to be susceptible to it. So, like I said, that's the one thing about decisions. No different than working. You got to stick with your decisions that you make in life, you know? Well, I don't know what the long-term effects are. I can just keel over because of what I've taken. But you got to accept the decisions that you make in life, you know? I did the jab, and whatever happens, happens, you know? I made the best decision that I can make at the time, you know? It's the way life is. I've not taken anything else for at least 2 years. My last shot, the booster, was in 2022. Or no, excuse me, 2021. My job is not crappy, and yes, I've already started it somewhat. I'm just freshening up on my terminology, so that's taking a lot of my extra time. No, I got a good job. It's a good job. It doesn't pay as much as the Spectrum job I could have gotten, but again, by taking this job, it still allows me to do my live streams and do other things as well. Because with the Spectrum job, I wouldn't have been able to live stream anymore, that's for sure. Quick pump, I'm going to always be pumping. But I'm not going to be quick pumping, I'm going to be slow pumping. So, reactions to diamonds, emeralds. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Lamar. You have to be more specific. All right, folks, it is 10 o'clock p.m. And that is the end of the show. How many side hustles I have? I run all those websites, so I have about 3 or 4 different things I do. Most of it nowadays is AI controlled, so I don't really have much involvement in it. But again, folks, that is the end of the show. I do want to thank everyone for the donation. I want to thank everybody else for hanging out with me for this GOP watch party. Be sure to tune in to the midnight run on Friday. It will start at 9 o'clock p.m. and go until 12. We'll do reactions. But again, folks, you guys take care. You have a good night. I think Lamar is going to be streaming later on, so y'all be sure to catch that. And as always, peace and soul.